Hi, I'm Nylume,
Hello, and I'm Phantasma.
and we're gonna be doing Banjo-Kazooie 100%.
And, yeah.
Am I good to go? Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So our main objectives for this run are to collect every note, every puzzle piece, every empty honeycomb piece, and to defeat the final boss, Grunty.
So, someone in chat did just ask, is the move glitch used? Yes, FFM is used in this run. So as you can see, what Nylume's doing is she is rolling and fluttering throughout Spiral Mountain here. That is because we do not have Talon Trot yet, but as soon as we enter Mumbos Mountain, the first official level in Grunty's lair, we'll have Talon Trot, and she'll be able to use most of the moves except for eggs, feathers, and gold feathers, which are omitted because we need them refilled. So yep, she's just going to use the fastest possible movement throughout Spiral Mountain that she has before obtaining Talon Trot. And that is rolling and fluttering into more rolls, because rolls are the fastest way to move, but you don't want to get that downtime from the slow of the roll, so she'll flutter out of it to go into a new one faster.
Yeah, so fluttering just, when you roll, you kind of stop, so fluttering lets you just continue at a higher speed without going to a full stop.
And
collecting all the honeycombs. Everything's happy so far.
Yep, Spiral Mountain's a beautiful, happy place, except, Banjo's sister just got kidnapped, so that's why we're going on this magical quest. And yep, as she mentioned, just honeycombs here, not a whole lot happening. There is one little trick she's gonna do coming up, but that's about it. Everything else here is just getting through the level as quickly as possible.
So this is bottle skip. By backflipping onto that little corner of the land, I avoided triggering Bottle's cutscene. So that's a little bit of time save right there.
Because we try not to talk to Bottles, which is another reason why we do that FFM or Furnace Fun Moves glitch. Bottles is the mole who teaches us moves, and we don't really want to talk to him because it takes a bit of time to get to the point. He says a lot of extra stuff, and so basically we set it up so we only have to learn the 3 moves, so it refills our accounts, and we'll go more over that later. But Nylume is about to open our first official level, which is Mumbos Mountain, and as soon as she does that, she'll be able to go in Talon Trot, which is the fastest movement in the game. Get ready to hear it bree, 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 bree for the rest of the run. She's gonna do a lot of jumping.
So this level is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of tricks. It's mostly just movement.
I did want to mention as well, as she just said this level is mostly movement, Banjo-Kazooie is very movement-oriented as a speed run. There are glitches, there are exploits, but movement is the most important thing in terms of going fast. As soon as you're able to, go in straight lines, cut corners, all that stuff, your times are going to get better as you go. What Nylume's doing right now is termite skip. We don't actually turn into the termite because we're saving tokens for later. Nylume can kind of just exploit slopes here and hop her way up as Banjo and Kazooie. As long as your shadow is not on the platform, you can quickly jump off of it and continue exploiting the slopes and getting straight up easily. And now she's just going to collect some notes. It's, pretty straightforward. It's a collect-a-thon after all. But termite skip is really cool. It is one of the first the first things that you learn coming into this, because it
Yeah.
takes a lot of time saved to not turn into that termite.
You really don't want to be the termite because it takes up a lot of time. And termite skip is pretty hard at first. It probably took me like a few hours of practice before I could actually do it all the way through. It's like one of the first tricks you learn in this run, and it's... I don't know about that, one of the hardest.
It's hard for
But
beginners.
It's pretty hard,
but,
yeah.
Once you learn it, you got it.
Yeah.
And yes, Metal Face Doom, she does have most of the moves automatically. An exception is coming up here. She's actually going to talk to Bottles for the first out of 3 times right here, because Bottles is going to teach her eggs. The reason she wants to learn eggs here is because Bottles gives her full eggs, and we don't want to have to waste time collecting them. So she's gonna mess with Conga a little bit here. Conga's a bully. He throws oranges at you.
He's not being very nice right now.
There we go. He's rude, likes to throw oranges at you. And occasionally, if he doesn't beat his chest for long enough, you miss the opportunity to get that extra shot in, so you have to wait for him to do it again. And we're gonna be
one of the most annoying parts of this level.
Conga's a pain, especially because he likes to do his own thing. She is going to be hitting witch switches throughout this run. Those are the little switches throughout the levels that have Grunty's face on them. Not every level's witch switch has to be hit, but this one's does, because it spawns a Jiggy on top of the level entrance that she needs to complete 100%. But like she said, very straightforward level. She's just going to be optimizing movement and utilizing her camera to the best of her ability, reducing lag, making sure she's moving in straight lines. And we are actually going to go into Mumbo's hut here, but we're not going to talk to him. He's sleeping. We want to make sure he gets his sleep in, because he's sleep deprived. You know, he's a shaman and he works hard. But yeah, there's some notes in his hut that we need. She's about to go get those soon. And then the next difficult section in Mumbos Mountain, which is Juju the Totem Pole, is coming up.
Oh, Juju.
No, Juju. Juju is hungry for eggs. And you want to do it fast, but you don't want to do it too fast, because there is a honeycomb piece on top of his head that we want. But as you can see, he spins. He's kind of a pain.
Oh god. There we go. He is quite a pain.
How many breeze does it take to complete this speedrun? Probably somewhere between 500 and 2,000.
Someone should figure that out.
Mm-hmm. If anybody wants to count the breeze, by all means, do it. And then she's actually going to utilize something called a quick dive coming up here. I'll go into it once you see it, because it looks pretty cool. We do this a couple times throughout the run. But she's going to slide out of Talon Trot and drop to the bottom of the pool. Yeah, you basically just slide in Talon Trot and release it as you're falling, and it shoots Banjo to the very bottom of the pool. And she doesn't want to dance. So once you collect the 10th Jiggy at the end of every level, Banjo and Kazooie do this little, I guess we call it a Jiggy Jig. It's a dance, very happy. Takes a lot of time though, so in any circumstance that we're able, we try to skip that dance by either getting into a pool of water, dying.
Collecting Jiggies in flight is a big one.
Jiggies in flight underwater. What she just did was get that through a sequence of jumps and rolls. She got the Jiggy on top of Ticker's Tower. Ticker's Tower's within the level. On top of Mumbos Mountain's entrance, so that she didn't need the termite. Because like we said, termite's a waste of time. We don't want to see him. He's cute, but we don't want to see him. And she just passed Brentilda. We used to talk to Brentilda, Grunty's sister. But now, thanks to Nimpok, we have a nice little skip that allows us to not have to talk to Brenty at all, because Furnace Fun is now way shorter.
Yeah, it's really nice not to have to talk to her anymore. There used to be, like, there was a pattern calculator where you would input the answers she gave you, and it would figure out which pattern your file had, and then from that pattern it told you the answers to the grunty questions in Furnace Fun.
Which
so you didn't have
randomized
yeah.
at the beginning of every run. We're going to enter the second level. You probably noticed that she opened up Clankerz Cavern early. That's because we have access to the shock jump pad and don't have to learn it in Treasure Trove Cove. And just ignite. You can improve your speedrunning time for this game by practicing lots, viewing other people with better times than you, and going to the Banjo-Kazooie Discord to ask any questions you might have about the game. We have a very helpful community in most cases. People are always willing to assist you, and you can ask questions. So TGC is lots of flying sections, and a lot of random small sections of swimming. So we gotta get Blubber's gold because Blubber's sad. And he's crying because he lost his gold, which, interestingly enough, is already in
right
his
there.
ship. It's in the ship. He's clearly having some trouble. But here's our second instance of talking to bottles, learning feathers so we can fly. And again, so we can have full feathers because we need them. Nylume's going to be monitoring her egg and feather counts as she goes through this run. And someone just mentioned the swimming mechanics in this game. There's a little secret that I think a lot of people know by now, but if you hold down R while swimming and flying, it actually makes it way easier to control. So you'll see her very smoothly flying and swimming, and you'll be like, whoa, she's super good. And yeah, she is super good. But you too can be super good if you hold R. It is a pirate ship. Blubber is a pirate. And she's just going to grab these things in flight. Do you want me to remind you to grab that?
Sure, thank you. Yeah, I was supposed to get that note, but it's pretty tricky. I missed it.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go back in a bit and collect it, which is no big deal.
Yeah, you too can be super good at Banjo-Kazooie. But yeah, the layout of this level is you follow the X's so you can unlock a special treasure chest at the end, which has a jiggy in it. But before we get there, she's gonna have to collect some notes around the level and And that was another place for a quick dive, but it doesn't take too much longer to just swim after it. It's kind of tricky to get past.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a crab here who likes to troll you, but she got past immediately. I was gonna say, Nylume is gonna start utilizing a lot of beak bombs here to get to places faster. They're very difficult to control in Banjo-Kazooie. You basically have to be lined up exactly. And she's just going to collect some things in flight and using beak bombs to get to areas faster. See, like this jiggy, she's going to grab in flight so she avoids dancing.
Oops. It's a little early on the beak bus.
Yeah, that switch is a pain. If you're not, like, just low enough, you'll damage yourself, which is silly, but eh.
I'm gonna grab this note really fast.
Thank you for remembering. I was like, oh yeah. Wow. Bad buddy.
It's okay. I've missed that so many times that if I don't remember, there's something wrong. Ah!
And she is intentionally falling here. We're gonna grab some help because there's a shark who likes to troll. And And
Yep.
she's gonna grab a honeycomb
It's
underwater.
after me.
Yeah, Snacker can be tricky. He's hungry for some bear and bird. And what Nylume's gonna do now is get inside our little buddy here. This crab is mean. And there is a trick to beat him up real quick, but it can be very risky, especially if you're low on health. So what she did was just beat him traditionally, but fast.
I decided not to do the skip just because I have a history of dying to Nipper
Yeah, Nipper's not nice.
in races and things like that, so I just want to be safe.
It's always better to be safe than sorry, especially in a marathon. But getting Nipper taken out of the shell is pretty fast, just doing the normal strategy as well. As long as, you know, you don't get hit by him, which she didn't, everything goes very smoothly. And we're just following the path of notes. Yes, crab murder. We're sorry. We can't say no animals were damaged in this speedrun. It's kill the animals all the way over here. Except bears and birds. We like Banjo and Kazooie. And you've probably noticed there's a lot of little buddies in this game. She just pooped some eggs into Leaky, who's a bucket who drains the sandcastle we need to get into for us. She didn't look though, because she knows where he is, but Leaky can be a little bit tricky. If you're in the wrong location when you get the eggs in, you can miss the bunch and it's very frustrating as a time loss. She's going to do some specific flying here to grab some notes and the pink Jinjo. And there's a joke, an older joke in the community, that the pink Jinjo is a notorious jerk. He likes to get out of your way. He
likes to jump.
He jumps, and you can't grab him when he's jumping. So you kind of just have to hope he's not about to jump. And our glitches or our cheats used in this game? No, not in the speedrun. That would take forever to enter the cheats in the sandcastle. But, yeah, we have the last X here before the treasure chest location. And she's just gonna do some cool stuff to grab notes from the treasure boy. Yeah. That was actually intentional damage, in case anybody's wondering. She wants to be down to 2 health going into the sandcastle. Sometimes you can have 3 if you want to be safe, but you are going to do a death warp at the end of this level. Banjo-Kazooie indeed. Banjo for Smash. Yep, we are very excited about that.
Very excited.
It is right around the corner.
Is there like an official date for that now, or?
I don't remember what it is, but I believe so. I know they said so.
Okay.
If somebody in chat knows, let us know. And yeah, this TCC is about to be over, and she did a solid job, so. We have to spell a lot in this game. Rare likes to make sure we know our ABCs. DK64 also has spelling sections. Tui has an area where you have to spell. It's everywhere.
That was
And
a pretty
she is
solid,
free.
Pretty solid end to the level.
It was perfect death warp.
That crab can be a pain.
Yeah, he's not very nice, which is why she hit him before going in there. There are times where if you miss, you can just die without getting the Jiggy, and we don't want that.
No, we do not.
Because I don't know if you guys knew, some of you might have played this on Xbox, but on the Nintendo 64 version of Banjo-Kazooie, when you die, your notes don't store. Notes and Jinjos go away. The only thing you keep are your Jiggies. So if you don't have 100 notes and you die, it's not fun. It's a big time sink. And dying in this game is very easy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna head to Clankerz. Clankerz is another... Clankerz is very cycle-based. So you've basically got windows of time that you can aim for in Clankerz Cavern, where if you get to certain locations within a certain amount of time, your whole overall level time is going to be faster. There are different strategies to doing this. For instance, you can go for the first cycle, which is notoriously difficult. Most people, I think, opt for the second or third cycle here. But Clanker, the giant mechanical whale underwater, he has a rise and fall cycle. And you have to... So basically, she's just jumping around, just walking past the Chompas because she's not scared. And Clanker underwater, who you're about to see, has a rise and fall cycle, which causes a lot of problems. You have to hit his tooth at a certain period of time, shoot 3 eggs at it to open it, as well as a second set of cycles where the blowhole launches a platform, and you have to get in or onto that within a certain amount of time. So Clankerz poses a lot of issues for speedrunners. She's gonna take advantage of our buddy Gloop underwater here. Gloop's the little fish going around popping air bubbles. Gloop's gonna keep us alive, but she's just gonna collect some notes and that Jinjo she just grabbed, and it's gonna make our lives way easier because Gloop is here. And the cycles also determine where Gloop is going to be underwater. Sometimes if you're on a cycle that you're not necessarily accustomed to, knowing where Gloop is about to be can be a problem. But since the area is so small, she's able to manipulate where she's going to go at what level time to make sure that she doesn't drown. When was the last time you drowned under Clanker? It's been a long time for me.
Maybe a couple months ago, honestly.
Yeah.
And
it can be tricky to maintain that air level.
I messed up my cycle, so I'm just getting air to be safe right here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Gloop's a friend. We rely on him quite a bit. Interestingly enough, the next level that Nylume's going to be going to is Bubble Gloop Swamp. Is there relation to Gloop in Clankerz Cavern and Bubble Gloop Swamp? We don't know, but that's how the names work. Banjo lore.
Banjo lore.
If anybody knows, let us know.
Is Gloop from Bubble Gloop?
I know. Is he from there? Is it his swamp? We don't know. And Bubble Gloop Swamp is actually my least favorite level too, Momo, so...
Same.
Oh my god, we're all twins.
It's very long and not very exciting.
Yeah, it's long, there's not a whole lot going on, and there's it's not that fun to speedrun either. But you saw her hit the 3 eggs on the tooth. That was getting into Clanker for the first time, so we can collect stuff inside of him. This level's gross if you think about it, so we try not to think about it too hard. You're just collecting things inside of a giant, seemingly mechanical, but also very fleshy whale.
Yeah.
He's a garbage grinder. We don't want to think too hard about that part. But we had to rescue him from Grunty's work, and Nylume is getting through these rings as fast as she can. And I don't know about you, Nylume, but I like to challenge myself and go for personal bests on ring time.
Oh, same. I got a 20, which isn't bad. 21 is, like, good.
Yeah, 20 is pretty good. You want, like, above 21. But, a 20 is very nice.
Yeah, I'm happy with a 20.
And we're about to do some fun stuff out here. She can just get onto Clanker's back without getting onto his flippers, which is really convenient. we're gonna defy death here and grab some notes on a thin platform. And then she's just gonna go around the outside. All of the levels in Banjo-Kazooie speedrun-wise are pretty optimized. You've had a ton of very dedicated community members look through to see what the fastest route through each level is, what's practical in terms of collecting Jinjos in a certain order, because you do want to collect the last Jinjo if possible in a location where you won't have to grab it on dry land. That's because we want to avoid dancing. And so yeah, she basically just goes around the level collecting everything. We have a little trick coming up here. It's called Bolt Jump. She's gonna fall in here and backflip out. It is way harder than it looks. She made it look like child's play. Takes a little bit to learn, but once you've got it, you've got it. Muscle memory. And
Yeah, that was a good honeycomb backflip. I got it first try.
Yep. And we've got this little section which scares new runners a lot because it's thin platforms and you jump in and out of them. But Nylume nailed it. And we're going to see if she can get into Clankerz quickly here. Because this bolt, like we mentioned, is a pain in the butt. Did I call it bolt jump? I'm so sorry. You knew what I meant.
There is a bolt jump.
There is a bolt jump.
I don't do that.
That's the honeycomb backflip.
Yeah.
Bolt jump is a very difficult jump from the top of the platform to that, to the pole on the outside where the notes are. And we're going to utilize beak bombing again. Asmi, I will fight you.
Hi, Asmi.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Asmi.
Shoutouts to Asmi1, who's good at both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie.
He's a very helpful member of the BK community.
He is.
Shoutouts.
And what you just saw there probably looked really badass and epic, but there's a little seam you can walk on and just avoid those spinning propellers with no issue whatsoever. So if you want to go home and try it yourself, there's a little seam slightly to the right of the center where you can just walk right through and not get hit. Not trying to take away from your skill, Nylume, but we just want to let them know on our secret, right? Let them in on it.
Yeah.
It looks really dope. You can do it yourself.
There's a lot of things in this run that look hard but are really easy.
And then the things that look really easy are hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are coming to the last couple sections of Clankerz here. Really clean level, honestly. We just want to flutter into there and get that jiggy real quick.
We'll see about snippets.
Oh, snippets are cruel. They like to put the tricky stuff right at the end of everything, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But we've got snippets here who are little zombie crabs, mutant crabs, whatever you want to call them. And Nylume's just going to beat them up real quick.
That guy's hiding.
He is. I hate when he hides. He's like, I don't want anything to do with you, ma'am. And what she'd normally try to do is get up to that platform before the jiggy cutscene, but since that crab was hiding, that made it very difficult. It is a massive pain in the butt to do that when the crab's a little bit too far away. But yeah, we're coming across a big, intimidating swimming section here. Again, another section that looks very difficult, but really isn't. You have just enough air. So for each air honeycomb we have here on screen, you have 10 seconds to swim. Nylume's going to be following a path here to collect the remaining notes, get a honeycomb, and grab the last jiggy, and then she's going to drown at the end, death warping her to the beginning of the level so she can quickly exit. It's a pretty easy sequence if you know what you're doing, and there are usually no issues getting everything in time and surviving. You might be manga-essing a little bit in chat right now.
Fun fact, I actually missed that honeycomb last night in my practice run.
Really?
Yeah, so it happens. That hasn't happened in a long time, but
it does happen. And there are two different paths you can do this. She and I do the same path, but you can also grab the Jiggy first and then go and collect the notes in the honeycomb and die there. It's all up to personal preference. They're pretty much just seconds difference, or even less than
I think
that
it's exactly the same, because the timing underwater is the same no matter what.
It is, yeah.
I prefer doing it the way I do it because it's not as hard to go backwards through the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's the reason I do it too. But yeah, she's gonna open Bubble Gloop Swamp. There is a route where we wouldn't open BGS here. I think Nylume and I are both agreed on this, that we like to optimize our movement and get the fastest possible time we can with a slower route before learning a faster route. BGS is Bubble Gloop Swamp, as we mentioned earlier. Not my favorite level, but there's some cool stuff to show off.
Mm-hmm.
And no, this is not a glitchless run. There are a couple of glitches, but while they weren't necessarily intended by the developers, they're not like going way out of your way to do something crazy. But you can do that. You can clip through walls, you can beak bomb through walls, you can you can turn into a bee and escape and cover the entire layer as a bee if you'd like. There are lots of options in Banjo speedrunning. Lots of routes, lots of preferred methods, but at the end of the day, as long as you're able to get your movement fast, you can get really good times. Like, Nylume here is kind of a legend, and she's been grinding her way down.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop. Yes, there is flirting on this frame, Fatels. You can turn into a bee and escape. That's not a joke, Lori.
Yes, you can. There's... Banjo is a pretty... Like, there's not a lot of glitches in 100%. I mean, there's some. Mm-hmm. Even the advanced route doesn't have a ton, honestly. There's more than the beginner route, which I'm showing you now. But it's a very movement-based game.
It really is. And she's just getting some health because we do a lot of, you know, health monitoring in this level.
There's a lot of off-roading in this level as well. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be diving deep in the swamp.
We're not scared of anything that lives in this swamp. We're just gonna go for it.
We're not scared of piranhas.
Not at all. And this leaf is actually on a cycle too, so she went fast, so she made it to the leaf and was able to get over here with no damage, so she can utilize all her health to get through the swamp as quickly as possible.
This part is why you want health. So we're just gonna go straight through the swamp, taking damage. Because it's faster.
Mm-hmm. It's okay if Banjo and Kazooie get a little bit hurt. It's all in the name of speed. And we're gonna traverse some dangerous platforms here. Honestly, something very intimidating to a new runner, but if you know how movement works and you know how your camera works, Nylume's gonna make it look like a breeze. and we're just going to collect a couple things as we go. We need Mumbo tokens to transform. Our first transformation of the run is actually in Bubble Gloop. We're going to turn into a cute little crocodile. And that isn't till the end, though. We're actually going to Death Warp as the croc. But there's some pretty cool stuff she's going to show off here. Like that movement across the platforms is precisely what I'm talking about when I say this game is very movement oriented. Here she is gold feathering to beat these flibbits. They're little gold frogs. They don't like you very much, but by grabbing this Jiggy while she's still in the flibbit cutscene, she omits doing most of the dance, and that saves some time. We're headed to mud huts now. Mud huts can be very tricky, but
Yeah.
you opted out of it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I saw you.
I was about to, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I don't even do mud huts and like PB attempts.
It saves a little bit of time, but it's not necessary.
It does. Yeah, to me, it's not worth. I'd prefer just to be safe.
Because if you fall, it does waste.
Yeah.
It wastes a ton of time if you fall. And she can get up there real quick without jumping off of them. Mud huts is just jumping off the slope of the huts and making it to the corners of the platforms.
Yeah, so you don't have
having
to break
the huts. Yeah.
Right.
What are you doing in me swamp? Yeah, this is Vile's swamp.
Donkey.
Donkey. What are you doing in me swamp? You're so special. Do it. But yeah, we're gonna use these boots here. We like our Stilt Stride. It's nice, keeps us from taking damage, but it's also very slow.
It is.
So that's why we opt for taking some damage as we go. Chat's saying donkey. Oh no. What does this become? We like memes here. Feel free to spread your love of memes. These dragonflies can be a pain. You don't have to kill him. She didn't kill him because he wasn't in her way.
Right.
But if that dragonfly is trolling you a little bit, you might want to get rid of it. And please do not be alarmed with what is about to happen. Nylume's gonna make this turtle scream, but we promise he's fine. He likes it. He actually thanks us.
He thanks us for stomping on his feet. Apparently it's very cold in the swamp. So
that dragonfly is not being nice to you. But you got very lucky with him at that last second.
He's never nice to me.
No, you don't have to call PETA. Trust me, the turtle likes it. You might think it's abuse, but as you can see, he has a present for us. He's so grateful. We warmed up his little feetsies. He's happy now.
We help a lot of animals in this level.
We do. We help a lot of animals throughout the run. And turtle patterns. So Nylume's gotta memorize some patterns here. Though, honestly, we all write them down. Because we're already thinking about a lot of things when we're speedrunning. You can have multiple different patterns here, as you can see. And sometimes the patterns aren't nice. You want to get as many little turtles next to each other as possible in succession because it's less travel time and therefore faster to stomp on them. But that doesn't normally happen. Tip Tup, the choir director here, likes to tell his children to, sing for us a little bit too far away for our liking. So right now, Nylume's actually getting a pretty bad last pattern.
Yeah, that was very bad.
And that's okay, because there's nothing we can do about RNG. And if you're interested in some Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie lore, Tip Tup here, the choir director, says these are his daughters. So, that's appropriate for Frame Fatales, right? We have singing female turtles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Banjo-Tooie, he actually has a son and says, "Let's go meet your sisters." There's a lot of
Oh.
lore in Rare Wording. But yeah, there's also a honeycomb in here. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah,
Huh.
I missed that. No big deal. But it's sad because in the speedrun you skip a lot of the text. You skip as much text as you possibly can, so you miss like the little, I don't know, just the cute,
the stories and the
yeah.
jokes and like Kazooie. Kazooie is really sassy, and you miss most of the rude things she says in the speedrun because we don't have time for text. But if you speedrun on Xbox, you can't skip text, so I guess you get to see it there. Yeah, then there's a honeycomb there. And you need it for 100%. Yep, there's no time for chat in Banjo. You just gotta go, go, go. And she's gonna get through this maze. You saw her collect some health. The reason for that being, she's not gonna wear boots throughout this whole maze, just parts of it. And we are actually planning to get her down to low health so she can death warp at the end. You're gonna see that a lot in this run. Just, it's way faster to die at the end of a level, so you're right at the entrance, than it is to traverse your way back. And here's another scary looking sequence. We have this very thin bridge and a timer.
You
But
definitely don't want to fall here.
Nylume's just gonna make her way across. Zero issues and grab that Jiggy. And yeah, that platform likes to troll me a lot. I don't know why. But we are on low health and ready to become a cute little crocodile. So since this is our first transformation, I do want to point out a little thing that can happen. There's some RNG elements in Banjo-Kazooie, not very common, but Mumbo can sometimes turn you into a washing machine, or he can say he was about to turn you into a T-Rex, which he's saving for the next game. It wastes a lot of time, or not really a lot, but it's a pain in the butt to get, especially if you're on a PB pace run, but it is cute. So since it's a marathon, maybe we'll see a wishy-washy, maybe we'll see a T-Rex. Who knows?
Right.
We might not. And I don't know if do you remember the percentages?
I don't. I think it's like 1 in 40 for the washing machine.
And like a little bit more as a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But here we have Mr. Vile. You may know Duck's Vile song if you watch him speedrun Banjo-Kazooie. That's what a lot of people bring up here. I don't actually have audio, so if I tried to sing it, I would be off and everyone would be upset with me. So no Vile song. Even though singing is something that I like to do, today it is not possible. So Nylume's just gonna, she collected all the items and now she's just gonna troll Vile, grab all of these, make sure he doesn't get any more, or, you know, more than her. And there are 3 rounds of this, which get progressively more difficult. You probably remember this being extremely difficult as a kid, because Vile does rubber band, and you most likely did not have access to the Talon trainers or the running shoes at this point in the game. The reason being is, since we have FFM active, we can use running shoes, and it makes Vile way easier. If you can't, or if you remember the olden days of Banjo-Kazooie 100% speedrunning, you probably remember a lot of runs dying to Vile. Didn't have the shoes.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Banding. Yeah, the rubber banding was scary. I didn't run back then, but I watched it. And she's just gonna get in front of him. You can actually like jump over him and grab Yumblies and Grumblies depending on like whichever one's on the screen. That's always fun because it's like, stole it from him. He's not very nice. He makes fun of you for being small and green, so we're gonna get him back by being faster than him. And there really isn't much else to the Vile game. There's a lot of mini games in Banjo game, as you know, you're probably aware. And you always left this Jiggy after getting the running shoes. But yeah, we're on to round 3, where you collect whatever's shown on the screen, either a Yumbly or a Grumbly. And it alternates every 10 seconds, I believe. They're not children, they are worms. It's fine. We got Greenie here going up against Mr. Vile, and we're gonna win, because nobody wants the bully to win. There's a lot of mini games in these games. You beat them to get Jiggies, oftentimes helping or harassing other animals. You'll see as we go. This game is, you know, very
eccentric.
It's eccentric. It's very British humor if you read the text, if you listen to the things that are said. You'll see it at some point if we haven't already, I can't remember, but Grunty likes to pop up and say inappropriate things in text boxes, so. They might be tomatoes. I don't know what they are. They're Yumblies and Grumblies. Do you know what they are?
Tomatoes and onions?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe just yellow and red tomatoes. Tomatoes with teeth. DK64 had tomatoes with teeth. But yeah, Nylume's getting ready to die here. We're not abusing the croc. we're just speedrunning. Okay, it's fine. Oh my goodness. The reason she's grabbing these as a croc is because obviously croc doesn't take damage. And she's actually going to have a dragonfly take her out at the end of this little sequence. He likes to be in...
He is way over there.
Yeah, he likes to be in the most inconvenient places. He can get stuck in the pillar or in the wall, which is bad.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you can get stuck. It's really bad. And we're out of Bubble Gloop, so you'll notice something weird here. Mumbo does transform you back into Banjo and Kazooie when you get too far away from the level. This gruntling is trolling you.
Yeah,
that was mean. And what we're talking about when we mentioned escaping as the bee earlier is you can actually escape without Mumbo force transforming you back at one point, but we're not going to worry about that because this is a different route. Nylume's just gonna get a Jiggy inside of the statue real quick. Not the intended way to do this. She jumps on top of the arm instead of going through the pot or the vase in front of Gobies. And you might notice that you probably didn't play the levels in the order she's about to for a little bit. I think, isn't it normal to do Freeze Easy first and then Gobies and then MMM?
I think so, yeah.
Casually, yeah. So we're actually going to go to Gobies first. There's a lot of reasons for this. Mostly just it's faster. But I'm gonna open Gobies. We hit that switch to omit hitting a witch switch in Gobies. And things are about to be very fun. As you can see, walls don't exist in Nintendo 64 games. And Nylume just grabbed a Jiggy through the sarcophagus with no issues. And because of that, we no longer have to hit the switch in Gobies.
And that saves a lot of time.
It does.
Not having to hit that switch, because it's in a very weird place.
Mm-hmm. The switch is in a maze, and it's in the complete opposite direction to completing the maze. So it'd be very slow to go out of her way. And yes, walls are merely a suggestion on the Nintendo 64. Gobies is tricky. So we're coming up upon... Nylume's going to do some interesting stuff in this level. A lot of exploiting the game's mechanics. So there's about in this route, there's about one glitch and a lot of just utilizing your knowledge of the game to do things a little bit faster. We'll get more into that as we go, but Gobies is fun. Gobies is very interesting. It's difficult. It's difficult to do quickly, but it's really cool. And
yeah, this is one of my favorite levels to speedrun, actually, even though it's terrible and unforgiving, but
it's a run killer. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good when it feels good when everything works out.
It does. Gobies is one of the most, like, I don't know, feel good levels when you're playing well.
Yeah, it's like high risk, high reward kind of thing.
So what you saw here is she used the Talon trainers to get through that ring, the Ancient One's rings. You normally collect those by flying, but Nylume doesn't care about the rules. The statues actually rise up when you exit a loading zone, and they'll always come up in the same spot if that's the one that you got first. So I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I like explaining this. But anyway, it'll always come up when she exits a loading zone in that spot.
Yeah.
So what you could do here is you could get into Jinxie, the Sphinx here, using Gobi Clip, but since Nylume's low on health and she doesn't want to waste time getting health, she's just going to shoot eggs into Jinxie's nose and enter that way. Gobi Clip can be a problem, but we never ever want to go for it if we're low on health, because you actually do need your health to get into the Sphinx.
Right. It saves, I think, about like 20 seconds in the route I'm doing, but I opted not to do it. Because I was low on health. I just want to be safe.
Yep. And thank you, chat, for explaining Furnace Fun moves. That is the reason she has the speed shoes in Gloop. And we have gotten that Jiggy very fast. Oh, I love doing this. Beating up the hand in Gold Feather. It just feels good.
It does. I love that strat.
Yeah, me too. But she's gonna go around this very treacherous desert, bother a camel a little bit. Don't worry about that. He's fine. He helps us out later. And she's actually setting up her camera so this Ancient One doesn't come up too fast, but it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I missed that, but it's okay.
It's okay. There's lots of opportunities to get it. Perfect. Those little moving guys can be a pain, but Nylume knows where to shoot the eggs, so she's killing it. And there's a lot, like, Gobies is laid out in pyramids, where every pyramid sort of has like an idea based around it. The first pyramid being this one. So she's gonna hit the switch, and then she's gonna do a very difficult matching puzzle, which we totally didn't memorize. So this is all just everything you see coming up here. This is all just her raw skill.
I just know where everything's gonna be.
She just knows where they are. She can see through the tile. I can't imagine how annoying this would be if they weren't all the same every time.
I know, oh my god.
Just add another element of silly RNG to the game, right? But there are a couple different ways to go about this puzzle. And it's pretty quick, no matter what you do here. If you, like, follow a set path anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would be Tui. Yep. Tui's an RNG nightmare.
And it has like 5 times the amount of mini games too.
Oh my god.
Maybe even 10 times. I don't know. It has a lot of mini games.
just ugh. But yeah, our Rareware team does enjoy their mini games and their side characters. We're gonna fly around. We're gonna mess with some characters in this level. Tui is a game that exists. Yes, it is.
Phantasma's actually going to be playing it after this.
Oh no. Am I?
So stick around for that.
But we have this little section here. She very quickly got some eggs into this nest, and Ruby's gonna play a song, and our snake buddy's gonna help us out. Hissed Up. Everybody's got a great name in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but every single NPC has a name.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. The Ruby is the snake charmer. The little pink thing next to him is Toots, and the snake is Hissed Up. Everything in that room has a name.
Every enemy has a name.
Mm-hmm. Every enemy, every object with eyes.
Yeah.
But we are getting through here pretty quick, so... Tip Top's daughters, I don't believe, have individual names. Unfortunately. That would have been great.
Oh, yeah. I think in the credits they're just like
Tip
Turtle
Top Choir,
Yeah,
or
Tip Top
something,
Choir.
yeah. But we're gonna rescue Gobi here, and he's eternally grateful for us. What you want to do there is stay in the air, but there's a certain spot you have to hit the rock in order to remain in flight, and Nylume can just as easily just get over here like this. It doesn't really... It's way more necessary for a different route in this level than it is right now. And yeah, Resh, those turtles are female. They are referred to as Tip Top's son's sisters in Banjo-Kazooie, so they've been confirmed as girls. Bring Patel, woo! But yeah, we're just gonna run up this pyramid real quick. This scared me, and probably a lot of you a lot as a kid, because timers, you know. But this timer is extremely forgiving. The door actually stays open quite a little bit after the timer hits 0. So it's not really an unforgiving thing.
One of the few cutscenes in this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh god. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what Rareware was going for when they decided Tui was cutscene paradise, but we affectionately refer to Tui as the movie. You'll see why soon enough, but we don't have to worry about that yet. We've got she's specifically aiming the camera away from the ancient ones right now in order to keep this one from coming up until she's ready to jump on top of it. And we're getting through here very smoothly because of it. This is the pyramid we were talking about earlier when she just, you know, casually punched into the sarcophagus, rolled into it. She's actually just gonna forget the maze entirely. There's multiple ways to get onto the wall in this maze.
I'm having a little trouble here.
It's okay, it's a hard maze.
Let's see. Yikes. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you can actually completely
That's the maze
skip over this maze. And that omits having to get the switch because we already got that jiggy. So don't be too scared of King Sandy Butt. He's not actually going to curse us. We're fine. And we're coming upon the last couple sections here. The desert has water now, so that's cool. We emptied the water pyramid. This run is excellent. It is.
Now we can collect these items underwater without taking damage.
And she did another quick dive to get down there again. If you quick dive all the way to the bottom, you actually take damage because the game still perceives there being quicksand down there. So she nailed it, didn't take any damage, got down fast. And we saved Gobi, now we're gonna bother him. You gotta help everybody out, and Gobi's Gobi's taking a hit for Trunker.
Gobi's kind of the punching bag in this game. I feel bad for him.
We do.
But he helps us out.
We abuse him a little bit, but he does help us out quite a bit. He's a nice camel. We appreciate him. And these running shoes are A, for going fast, and B, for grabbing things without having to do the dance. And since she did miss that one ancient ring jump, she's going to collect it now and grab this Jiggy in flight. So she still doesn't have to dance. This map is very yellow.
Extremely yellow.
And we have Grabba here. Grabba's not nice, but we have a way of avoiding his taunting, I guess.
I think the intended way to get that Jiggy is to use the speed shoes, but we can just grab it in flight.
Yep,
with
we
the
beak
beacon
into him.
Doing a little slope abuse to get up.
Yep. Clean save.
And that's it for Gobies.
Gobi's dunzo. Bottles has to congratulate us, of course. It wasn't. It really wasn't.
Now we're going to head over and open Mad Monster Mansion.
And the puzzle for Mad Monster Mansion is kind of out of our way. So Nylume's gonna trek her way through the layer, do some swimming, and open that level up, and then trek all the way back here.
Yeah, this is the movie of BK.
Mm-hmm. The movie of BK. Oh, BK. It's a beautiful game. We're biased, but we like this game a little bit.
Just a little.
And like we said, long swimming section here. She's going to be making her way over to the puzzle. We're going to see another cool quick dive coming up, but there really isn't a whole lot going on in this section. This is kind of our only downtime, really, throughout the run. You don't get a lot of time to just chill in Banjo-Kazooie. And oh, the fish, he's being mean.
Yeah, he was mean. Yeah, unlike Banjo-Tooie, Banjo-Kazooie doesn't have a ton of downtime. It's really just go, go, go. Mm-hmm. Where Tooie, on the other hand, has a lot of cutscenes, a lot of dialogue. You can kind of just chill out for a while here and there.
There's a lot of breaks. It's comfy.
It's very comfy.
It's Kermit comfy. A good time for donation. I can teach you how to like this game, yeah. All you gotta do is play it, and you'll like it.
You have to be able to tolerate the sounds.
Yeah, you have to be able to tolerate goofy sound effects, and it's cheesy. Like Banjo-Kazooie's got its fair amount of cheese, you know? You've got some corny jokes here and there. Okay. But yeah, just be goofy and you'll like this game pretty much. There's a lot of snark. Kazooie is full of sass.
I'm opening this gate here so we can come back at the end of Mad Monster Mansion as the pumpkin.
Another extremely cute transformation. Yeah.
What is your favorite?
My favorite transformation?
Yeah.
That's hard because I honestly like something about all of them, but I think either the pumpkin or the crocodile.
Mine is the crocodile for sure.
Yeah.
He's just so cute.
He's extremely cute. So Mad Monster Mansion is a fan favorite. It's a level I like a lot. One thing to note here is it's a difficult speedrun level because
very difficult.
You have a lot of movement stuff you have to be very particular about. She's mostly going to be going around the level collecting things as you do. But one thing to note is we're going to try our best to stay up on the roof and not fall off because that wastes a lot of time. She's going to be keeping track of her health again here. And chat loves the washing machine, so I think I'd like the washing machine more if it wasn't such a time sink. It's cute, but it does cause some problems for us.
Maybe we'll see it. Who knows?
Maybe. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Just this one. Maybe we'll get it live instead of on one of Nylume's PBs.
Yeah.
But yeah, the walrus is also extremely cute.
I love the walrus too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They're all cute.
They're all cute. There's a cool sound glitch here. I can't hear her audio, but there's a really cool sound glitch. If you enter the chimney fast enough after grabbing the Jinjo, he says "we" when you exit the dining room here, and it's really fun. I don't know. I just love that. But you just saw her steal the Jiggy away from Napper. Napper's a ghost. He sleeps. We try not to wake him up. If she had fallen on the floorboards, he would have woken up, and we would have lost a bunch of time, but she's too good for that. And now we have another maze. They really, really like mazes. We're just going to quickly grab the notes in here without getting hit by the teehees. These ghosts are called teehees, and they are notoriously irritating.
Part of the reason this level is so difficult is just because there's so many hazards, enemies trying to get in your way.
Yeah, she's gonna do a little trick here, jump on top of the honey hive in order to get up to the other side to the graveyard. That was really clean, and now we're gonna poop in some pots because rare humor. We have these gravestones. They get in the way pretty bad of this sequence. She's basically trying not to get trolled by them as she gets through all these pots. And they are saying thank you, in case you think you're mishearing. Grant Kirkhope has discussed in many different places that he's aware that it may sound like they're saying something else followed by the word you, but he assures that it is thank you. And that he had to re-record it multiple times because Nintendo was like, mate, please.
Were they really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
He
man.
said it in an interview of some sort.
That's
But
funny.
we're gonna spell Banjo-Kazooie again. Because it's a true mechanic of the game. This time we're on a Ouija board type situation with a cup named Tumblar and another tiki. This one's purple and very rude. And yeah,
More spelling.
always more spelling. We really like spelling. And yep, it is a collectathon. It's a platformer and a collectathon. This is the N64 version. The Xbox version is slower because you cannot skip text. And there's a lot of text in this game that we have to skip.
Xbox is faster for any percent.
Any
though.
percent,
That's yeah.
There's a glitch, I believe, in any percent that's only Xbox accessible.
Right. That run is really cool because it actually starts in Rusty Bucket Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's an Xbox version on Rare Replay. And you can skip the dance for that Jinjo, but it's pretty difficult. You have to time it right. And she's going to make her way to the church. Another timer. They like to play this game of, ooh, can you make it in time? But as speedrunners, we can usually make it in time with no issues. And here's the church.
Using gold feathers is the only way to kill the ghosts, so you have to really be conscious of your gold feathers in this level.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you have enough entering the church.
Yep, and this section's notoriously difficult. I mean, you have a little music section where you have to copy Mozart, who you're about to see. But after that, which, you know, Nylume's got it memorized. We also have resources, so if you're learning the run for the first time, there's a piano guide that you can take a look at. We have a lot of resources in the Banjo community. It's a very accessible run to learn and a very helpful community. But the church is, it can be a problem for a lot of newer runners, and even if you're not fully engaged in the run for even experienced runners, because if you fall on the wrong spot and land on one of the tiki or the ghosts, you can instantly die. You'll see Nylume is heading up to the top right now. She's going to collect some notes and a jiggy, and then she's going to fly up to the rafters where there is a honeycomb and a witch switch. Yes, she is using a Nintendo 64 controller. It's not a dumb question. A lot of speedrunners use controllers that are for different consoles due to adapters and stuff. ZFG runs Ocarina of Time with a GameCube controller, even when I ran on N64. But Nylume's on a Nintendo 64 controller.
One of the top runners of this game runs with the GameCube controller,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
We also have a runner who used to run on Hori. I don't know if he still does. But yeah, what she did was she fell there. That ghost was very close.
Yeah.
So you can actually ground pound at the top of a section and fall off of it, and you won't take damage when you fall. that's what she used right there. There's another way you can get down there where you would just take a little bit of damage, but she's keeping an eye on her health right now for safety. And we have our last little pot here. Making our way towards the last sections of this level. We're going to see a pumpkin very soon.
Just be very careful here, because you don't want to fall down.
Yeah. Notably up here, your basic risks exist falling off. It's a pretty tricky platformer, so you've got a lot of sections that you can easily fall off of, so she opted out of staying in talon trot there so she could ensure her safety. And if you jump correctly off of there, you'll face no problems, but if you reach too much height jumping off of the roof, you'll take damage and slide off of the lower roof, which we obviously don't want. And we got Pumpkin. No wishy-washies yet. We're just going to use Pumpkin to collect the last remaining things here in Mad Monster Mansion. We are actually going to Death Warp as the Pumpkin as well. So Pumpkin mechanics are pretty basic. Pretty much all you can do is jump.
Yeah.
He's cute. He's cute and he's quick, but it doesn't do a whole lot. She is exiting pretty much as soon as she grabs that honeycomb, so it doesn't refill her health. That's intentional. And then we're about to get some more Rareware humor. And Nylume's gonna flush herself down a toilet. Because that's fine, right? That's totally sanitary and good. Yeah, you can't attack as the pumpkin, so she's gonna avoid taking damage until she has to. Cute. Ayaya's in chat.
Ayaya.
Kawaii. Yeah, we're just grabbing things. The usual. And this is the well. You can collect stuff under the well as Banjo and Kazooie, but it's a lot easier as the pumpkin, and in this case, much faster. And now we have Weeb chat because we said ayaya.
What have we done?
What have we done? Weeb takeover.
I had a lot of health. I didn't realize that. Oh well.
And again, we want a death warp here, so it's all good though. It's pretty quick to just run into these whip cracks and have ourselves die. And now we get to go into the gate that she opened. This tombstone isn't very nice. He likes to bump into you, like so.
Ah!
Oh, poor pumpkin.
Everyone's being mean to little pumpkin.
Everyone's bullying him because he's small. Protect pumpkins, please.
So what we're doing here is hitting a water switch that raises the water level so we can get into Rusty Bucket Valley.
And this run's not good enough for Nylume's standards, so she's just gonna hit the reset button. Sorry, it's over. the eternal joke. I'm sorry. I had to. There's a lot of intentional resetting in games of this nature. Just because if you need to get to a certain area, it's a lot easier to just hit the reset button and open your file up again than it is to traverse your way through the layer all over. So as you can see, we're at the beginning of Grunty's layer. So Nylume's able to collect a Grunty Switch Jiggy that she didn't grab before by bopping these little eyes in.
Yeah, that's the Clankerz layer jiggy. So instead of backtracking after Clankerz to get it, we just get it on our way back to Freeze Easy Peak.
And we are activating ding pots as we go. Ding pots help us get through the layer faster. There's a couple different ding pots that correspond throughout the layer. You've got this one that matches the one near where Freeze Easy Peak's entrance is. And so she's able to get over to FP very quickly. And Freeze Easy Peak is another pretty fun level. There's a lot going on here. Some flying sections, some goofy sections, some serious rubber banding. And
some racing.
Some racing. Some bad examples of parenting. This level has everything. Also, it's Eternal Christmas, so Merry Christmas, chat. As long as you're in Freeze Easy Peak, it's Christmas, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, Nylume just knocked out one of these guys, and now she's just going to stand in the corner. I wouldn't worry about it too much. She's just going to hang out for a bit.
Yeah, normally you have to actually play this minigame, but we're manipulating the camera, so we don't have to.
When she knocks that one out, it does not respawn unless you're looking at that area or in that direction. So as long as the camera is off that little guy, she is good to go. And we can just make our way as soon as the Twinklies have made their journey safely. And this level has some bullies in it. It's got some evil ice cubes, it's got some snowmen. Nylume totally just no-scoped that, and that was pretty baller. So
Thanks.
There's a setup for that where you can shoot 3 eggs at the switch on the Christmas tree without having to turn the camera, and it saves a good amount of time. And it's time for the Christmas star. There is a strategy called YOLO Star that is pretty particular, and we do one called Half YOLO, which Nylume just did. She beak bombed and made her way over and then ground pounded through the star.
Is that half YOLO?
It's no, not really. I think half YOLO is beak bombing through the star and then doing
Yeah.
But still, she ground pounded through it, not needing to fly around in circles. Saves a little bit of time.
Slightly faster than intended.
Yep. And
here's our friend Boggy.
We're gonna land on Boggy, who is the worst parent in this game. Maybe not the worst parent in the Banjo series, because his wife is pretty bad too. But
yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, they're both pretty bad.
There's a lot happening here. Nylume's gonna go into the Christmas tree and collect some stuff. So there's a Jiggy at the top since she got through the Christmas star. And just in case you are running low on eggs or feathers, this is a really good place to fill up. She has been keeping really good count of her eggs and feathers though, so she doesn't need to do that. We're just going to collect the necessary notes and the gift, and then make our way out. That feeling when you lose all your children. Oh no. But yeah, we're gonna beat up some angry snowmen right now. These snowmen can be tricky. But as long as you've got your aim on the hat pretty tight, you shouldn't experience any issues. She can probably... I'm not going to jinx it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But this is a cool section. It looks really cool. And as long as you get to take out the snowman, yep, easy peasy. Is this Banjo-Kazooie? Nah, this is just normal Banjo-Kazooie. It's Banjo-Kazooie done like a champ, though. So what you saw her do there, she beak-bombed into Mumbo's hut and stayed in flight, so she didn't get hurt, and so she was able to get into the skull as quickly as possible. Still no washing machine, but we are now a cute walrus. So enjoy the walrus. Mumbo actually body shames you a little bit here, which isn't nice. Says Banjo gone all fat.
Oh.
But the walrus is cute, and he has to have blubber to stay warm. So really, we shouldn't be insulting him, right, Mumbo? He should learn, you know. And she's just gonna collect a couple little things here. If you're wondering why she left those notes, she's going to grab them later in a lovely sled race against Mr. Boggy here. And there are a couple different ways to go about these boggy races. As you can see, she does collect a couple of those notes from around the legs. Those are called the snowman legs. We call them left leg and right leg because that is what they are. Pretty clever naming scheme, right? Also, this version of the song is great. Everybody wah-hey in chat.
Wah-hey!
Wah-hey! But Boggy rubber band's pretty bad. So if you don't collect those things immediately during the race, or if you do collect those things during the race around the legs, you do run the risk of him rubber banding and you having to start the race over again. So Nylume opted out of doing right leg, which is the more difficult leg to get. You would do that as the walrus. She's going to slow down at parts during this race so that she can allow Boggy to get a little bit further ahead of her so he doesn't rubber band, and so she's able to finish the race with no issues. He basically, when Boggy rubber bands, it's like a normal rubber banding mechanism where if you start going really fast, he will speed up. But if you slow down after starting to go fast, he slows down at a much less consistent rate. So he's gonna shoot past you if you don't take a moment to slow down during the race. There are ways of manipulating it, so it's not... I don't know, there are ways of manipulating it so you can go almost full speed, but you are gonna have to take a moment or two to, like, pay attention to where Boggy's at and what rate he's going at, because he is going to launch past you at the end if you're not careful. And yeah, what I meant about bad parenting, Boggy is just having a good time on his sled, racing while his kids are without their Christmas presents. So it's pretty sad.
They're at home crying.
Yeah, they're crying. It's really sad. So Banjo and Kazooie have to be their parents today. Their names are Groggy, Soggy, and Moggy, which you would only know from Tooie. And they can be a pain, but not in this game. In this game, they're sweet, innocent children. Boggy's a bad dad, he is. I've always liked this section a lot, climbing up the scarf.
This is one of the more fun sections of this level.
She's just gonna flip her camera accordingly so she can continue jumping evenly, collecting everything as fast as possible, going up the scarf. It just looks nice. It's fast and it looks nice. And Yep. So because Freeze Easy Peak is structured more vertically than horizontally, we do spend quite a bit of time. We would have to spend quite a bit of time going up and going back down and going up again. But we don't have to do that in the speedrun. We basically collect everything going up and then get down as quickly as possible, which you're about to witness. And then you don't have to go back again. So we get through it pretty quick. As intimidating as a large platform snowman is, we don't have to worry about it too much. She's actually gonna launch herself off this ledge, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's really fun to do that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have the children here.
Happy children.
Merry Christmas, kids! Your real dad's here. The better dad. But yeah, there's some stuff in there that we can grab. We don't have to worry about it too much. And we are going to get ready for the big race with Banjo and Kazooie on speed shoes versus Boggy in a sled. I don't know. It depends on what route or strategy you do, which race is actually harder. The walrus race is hard if you try to collect all the notes around the leg, but the banjo race is definitely a little bit more fast-paced. You gotta pay attention to his rubber banding a little bit more, and Nylume's gonna do a good job of that. She's gonna collect all the notes around left leg right now. And Boggy cheats. He starts early. Also, wahey!
Wahey!
Wahey! She's just gonna get past him, grab some stuff, let him pass her again. Just basic insurance to make sure he doesn't just completely rocket past her at the end. Which, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him get ahead right here.
She's gonna hang out right here by the present. Which Mumbo token do you get instead of the one on top of the present?
I'm not sure.
Oh. I was gonna say another fun thing to note about this game is that there are a lot of different token. Well, okay, not really a lot, but there's a couple different token routes you can take depending on what you do. So there's a couple tokens that are obviously faster, but some might be easier for another person to grab than another. And because of that, you're able to kind of select which ones are more comfortable for you.
I've never been comfortable getting that token, or that
on
present
top of the
token,
present.
yeah. So.
Yeah, she's gonna get dangerous here, sink to the bottom of a frozen pond, and swim her way to almost death.
You're supposed to do this as the walrus, but the walrus can be in the cold water without being damaged. Now we're just gonna death warp out of here.
We forgot the ice key. Oh no.
Oh no.
So, the ice key and all the stop and swap items are actually not part of 100%. I suppose in a max percent run we would grab them, but we don't need those. They actually don't really do anything in this game, so...
Wow, I actually just golded that split. Nice.
Nice! Woo! Hype for the gold! That's awesome.
That's crazy because I had like so much health at the very end. But whatever, I'll take it.
Happy surprises. This is called iJiggy. It causes problems for some people. She just doesn't want to land, and she's fine.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to land there.
As long as you don't land, it's pretty self-explanatory. You grab the Jiggy and then you fly out. If you land, you have to go back and get the shoes and fly again, and that's a lot of unnecessary time loss. So your hitbox actually extends into that wall, so you can just beak bomb into it and grab the layer jiggy that way, which is why we didn't have to hit the Witch Switch in Freeze Easy Peak. And now we're going to head over to Rusty Bucket Bay, which is my personal favorite level, but is also notoriously problematic. It's pretty hard.
It's very infamous.
It is. Your childhoods might be jarred and reminded by a certain section called Engine Room that we actually go to first. Engine Room is just, it moves. There's a lot of moving parts in Engine Room, and you can fall off pretty easily or otherwise die. But we're gonna get through it. And all we gotta do is open up the level. There's actually, I don't believe there's any way to enter RBB early. There's a couple levels you can enter early with glitches or exploits. This one is not one of them, as far as I know. If there is like a random RBB early, please someone let me know, because that'd be pretty cool. And
There is on the Xbox, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before, I don't think there is a way.
I've never played the Xbox version.
Me neither.
This is my favorite level because I like the music and it's fun to speedrun.
It's very fun. This is probably my favorite level to speedrun.
Twins! It's super fun. Yeah, Bubble Gloop Swamp can be entered without opening the portal, as can FP. But yeah, she's gonna go through some different rooms on this ship, collect everything she can, and make her way through. I think as speedrunners, a lot of us like Rusty Bucket Bay because it's, I'd say linear, but it's not really a straight line, but it is a circle. You pretty much go around the level in a circle. It's pretty easy to not forget anything as you go through, and it's just really fun to do fast.
I like how vertical it is also. Like you're jumping down from like tall places a lot.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
This is Engine Room.
There's a lot of dangerous platforming.
Yeah, like this room.
I'm just gonna be extra careful here.
I don't blame you.
Dying in Engine Room is not fun.
Engine Room is a problem. You can cheese most of these platforms, but it's very risky. And she's about to utilize some iframes from damage here. But you want to make sure you're lined up well, which is why she gets into a squat and lines it up with her camera using R. If you're not lined up, it can knock you off the platform even if you get through.
Yeah, so I'm looking for like a straight back recoil off of the fan, not a side.
Not to the sides,
yeah.
But
that looks good.
It does.
Yay!
Woo!
We did it.
We are free. Engine Room is donezo. But, you know, we mentioned walls are a suggestion. Nylume's just gonna walk through this one because we don't really care too much about walls in this game. This wall's interesting.
Yeah, I had a little brain fart there. You're supposed to just walk through as Banjo, and I was in Talon Trot.
You can do it in Talon Trot, but it's much harder.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's not as flexible, but you can get through. Walking through it, very easy. And we're gonna defy some dangerous situations here. Nylume grabbed the Jiggy first, which you can do this a couple different ways. Grabbing the Jiggy first is the safest way to do it, especially if the clip gives you any issues. Sometimes the clip is finicky, that wall clip. So if you are feeling like the timer might be a little bit too low, grabbing that Jiggy first does not lose a lot of time and is a lot safer. The most important thing, I think, is not dying.
Yes, I agree. Better safe than having to recollect all the notes because you took too big of a risk.
And she's just gonna utilize some Gloop glitching here in order to get up from the poisoned water or the dirty water. Avoid the Champas and get on over to the other side, where she'll do it again.
The intended way to cross is to put some eggs in the toll, and that opens up a platform for you to walk across.
But we don't want to pay a toll. We don't like Grunty's government propaganda.
That's an extra cutscene too.
Dying is generally bad. It is. We don't like that. Except when we do it on purpose. But this witch switch, you just jump across and flutter or rat-a-tat wrap over. And she's gonna go fight one of the only mini bosses in the game, interestingly enough. She's actually gonna cheese this fight a little bit, and when she shot the 3 eggs, what she did was essentially push the box back so that the Jiggy remains, and she's able to grab it with gold feathers and not have to fight all of the boxes. And now we're just gonna sort of circle around the area and enter some rooms.
There are a lot of rooms in this level.
There are. It's a big ship. And, we've got, not only do we have rooms, but we have storage containers. We have like underwater like galleys. There's a lot happening in Rusty Bucket Bay. Yep, and you never really even had to fight Boss Boombox. You pretty much just grab his Jiggy and destroy him from within. But what Nylume just did to collect that token, she's basically just platforming very carefully to get through that room as fast as possible. If you fall, it's kind of annoying, but as long as you know which direction to jump, you should have relatively little trouble with that room. All of these rooms are basically just understanding how the enemies and mechanics work and where all the platforms are. Like here with the Champas, there are other ways to get past them, but a lot of us will roll because you go a little bit faster via rolling, and the Champas can't hurt you if you're in an attacking animation. And now there's toxic waste here, which we're not going to fall into, right?
Right.
It doesn't kill you if you fall in, it just wastes time because you sink to the bottom.
Just damages you.
And there is an extra fast strat to do here, but the fun fact is if you miss it, it wastes way more time than it saves. So Nylume's just going to climb up and get over to the cage that rose as quickly as possible, and completely neglect the fact that lifeboat jump is kind of a pain in the butt. This is easy, and you can do it, and you can even skip a cutscene getting to it at this point. Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, I didn't get the cutscene skip, but it's okay.
Still solid movement.
Ahoy!
Ahoy! We got lots of little sailors. And it was pretty tough knowing where all of these rooms were as a kid, but you can see the difference between the windows that are breakable and the ones that are not.
Yeah, there's a slight difference.
And so Nylume's actually grabbing the gold feathers here because we do need quite a bit of gold feathers coming up in Click Clock Wood. And we're climbing now. Again, really fun sections to do. Lots of lag reduction. There's a lot of stuff on this level. Like, as you can see, backgrounds are pretty intense and there's a lot of structures that have to load. So by keeping the camera pretty close to her, Nylume's able to eliminate some lag, and by turning the camera away from the largest loaded structures on the screen, she can get through without it having to lag out too. For instance, zooming in and facing in the direction she's facing right now prevents having to deal with lag while pressing these number switches. And we have the pattern memorized, so where you'd normally get those numbers from is the side of the ship, but we don't have to look at the side of the ship.
Ah! You don't want to get hit by these guys because it can
soft lock.
Or yeah.
Is it a hard or a soft lock here?
I'm not sure.
It locks the game.
Yeah, it locks the game. You don't want that.
You do not want that.
And this platform is very tricky.
It's thin and it's easy to... Ahoy! And what you saw her do there is she fluttered to one direction so she didn't have to backflip up there. It just speeds things up a little bit when you know where the jiggy is. Fly right to it. Shoutouts to One Direction.
I caught that too. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Also, Nylume's not afraid of great chompas. They don't scare her.
We can just walk right through those.
Also, it's Nylume, everybody.
It's Nylume.
It's Nylume. The dolphin, as you saw, the anchor just went straight through the dolphin, but the dolphin's fine, you know. Invincibility and everything. Dolphins are pretty amazing, that one.
The dolphin's real name is Snorkel, by the way, but...
It's Snorkel, but it's Nylume's avatar, so I just say it's Nylume.
Here's Snacker again, the last time we'll see him in this run. Say goodbye to Snacker.
Bye, Snacker.
Good riddance.
Good riddance. So she's actually, she manipulated that platform a little bit and launched it and the water level so she could grab the jiggy without landing on the platform and therefore skip the dance. That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, so if you touch a jiggy directly from the water without touching the land first, it'll let you skip the dance. I think because it thinks you're still underwater.
Mm-hmm. And we are about to finish Rusty Bucket Bay here. She's going to take some damage on purpose so that she could death warp. That chomp is a good candidate for damage. He takes 2 every time instead of like the life preserves. They only take 1. So now we're dead, and RBB was really clean, actually.
Thanks, yeah. It was actually a pretty good RBB for me. Now we're going to Click Clock Wood, the last level.
The final countdown.
The longest level.
It is. Click Clock Wood is interesting. I feel like most people have played this game, but Click Clock Wood actually has 4 levels in one level, so it's season-based. You've got a spring, a summer, an autumn, and a winter. And basically, you have to set up certain conditions in the seasons as well as hit switches to unlock the next season in order to get the Jiggies. Nylume's basically just going to traverse every season in order, as you must, and get everything as quickly as possible because it is a speed run. And you probably remember Click Clock Wood being a little intimidating. After all, it is very easy to fall off a large tree with thin platforms. We are going to do our very best not to fall off, but everybody's fallen off the tree.
Oh yeah. Happens to the best of us.
I love the RBB puns. RBB isn't exactly clean, but it was a good run.
True.
Oh yeah, and a big feature, someone just mentioned, a big feature of Click Clock Wood is Banjo-Kazooie's child, I guess, Irie, or Eerie, depending on how you pronounce it. It's an eagle who we basically raise from egg to adult. It's pretty cool. Don't know what happened to their parents, but they don't need parents anymore. They're a strong eagle because of us.
I love Eerie.
Yeah, me too. Yep. Click Clock Wood has a puzzle very far away from the level itself, so
It's basically at the beginning of the game. You have to go all the way back.
And so Nylume utilized ding pots again to warp from the Click Clock Wood entrance to the puzzle. And what I mentioned in seasonal events, we do also have a giant plant to grow. And we're going to be torturing for Gobi a little bit more, but you know.
Oh, Gobi.
Oh, Gobi. Good parenting was not a rare strong suit, no. But we are ready to get in there and get going. There's a lot of stuff we do in Click Clock Wood, collection-wise. It's not just your regular items that you have to collect. It's not just Mumbo tokens that you need for transformations. You also get worms and acorns, and Click Clock Wood is basically a big conglomeration of helping out other animals. And messing with them a little bit. We have a run-in with some Zubbas, which are wasps. And we torture Gobi a little bit, but other than that, we help a lot of animals. Click Clock Wood is the longest level. It takes a whole year to complete.
Also true.
Yep. We're going to be opening every season as we go as well. There are switches in every season to open the following season. Alan's going to climb up this tree quickly and carefully. These birds are a pain. Progressively as they grow, they become more of a pain.
Yeah, each season they get bigger too.
They get bigger and
faster, scarier.
Get bigger.
Yeah.
And it's very dangerous. Yes, this is a 100% run of Banjo-Kazooie. This Grublin Hood can be a pain, so she's actually going to take him out before hitting Summer Switch. If you hit the switch and he runs at you, he can actually knock you off the tree without, like, when you're still in the cutscene, basically. So you don't really have a chance to react. They're the first members of the BK crew. Thanks, chat. Here's our baby. Stop and swap is not part of 100%. Nylume mentioned it at the beginning of the run, but 100% includes all jiggies, all note, all honeycomb pieces, and and the final boss at the end.
Yeah, so Mumbo tokens aren't included in that.
And eggs and feathers. You don't have to have all of those complete to finish the game. And we're starting off this plant here. Click-Clock Wood's interesting because there are a couple of different routes to do in Click-Clock Wood as well. But we are just focusing on a standard route here where we go around, grow the plant as normal, and grab everything as quickly as possible.
Yeah, this is pretty much the standard beginner route. If you're interested in learning this game, this is a good route to begin with. It's very accessible, very movement-based. There aren't a lot of hard tricks, and if you're not comfortable with the tricks, you don't have to do them. A lot of times they don't save a ton of time, so if you're not comfortable at the beginning, you totally don't have to do them.
Yep, and
until
you
you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a lot of runners with like top times who don't do the full heavy intensive all tricks route. This is not a glitchless run. There are a couple of glitches. She's done a few already, but for the most part it isn't as glitch intensive as some other routes are. Basically, the fun thing about Banjo is you do whatever route and you master whatever route you want to master, and that's entirely up to you. All routes you're able to get pretty good times on, and until you're personally ready to like tackle or go for world record, you don't have to do things like FP early and 450 note door skip and RBA, which is reverse B adventure, which we joked about earlier, when you turn into a bee and escape. There's a lot of different ways you can go about Banjo and the different levels. This is a live stream, Dylan. And poor little Gobi here gets stomped on. That was a really good landing.
Thanks. I had a little trouble getting out of the beehive, but we're good now.
Is it faster to go up the left side?
Yes. Unless you did what I did and messed it up, then then it's not.
Yeah, poor Gobi. We need his water for this. And here we have Naughty. He's a beaver. He can't get home.
Yay.
Now he can get home.
We'll be seeing him again later, too.
We will.
A lot of these animals make seasonal appearances in this level.
And there's some animals we don't visit multiple times, but that doesn't mean they're not there. And yeah, Claire, there are a lot of lag reduction strats. So you basically, as you go through the game, you try to keep your camera away from the largest structures. There are instances where having your camera completely zoomed in reduces more lag and allows you without dealing with that, whereas there are instances where zooming your camera out might be beneficial for certain sections. But we are going to climb up this tree using these leaves that have grown to their largest size in summer. Nylume's going to beat up a bird because she needs to get up here. You don't actually... Is there an instance where you wouldn't? I know you can roll and hit the platform. But anyway, this is called the Summer House Jiggy. Go ahead.
Top runners generally don't kill that bird because, I guess sometimes his hitbox is weird. I don't know. I always just kill him just to be safe. I've never really had an issue with it.
What Nylume just grabbed was the Summer House Jiggy. There are two ways to do this. If you want to run the risk and jump across, it saves a little bit of time. You have to jump across and jump back quickly. It's a tight gap, but you can make it. What Nylume did was he sort of extended her hitbox into the wall and grabbed it through the back wall. This barely loses any time, and it's a lot safer. So now we're feeding our bird child for the first time. This is why she's been going around collecting worms in this level, because Eerie needs to grow up big and strong. And because the bird ate so much, now they're tired. And if you're too close to Irie, that hitbox can actually push you through the nests. I don't know if you knew that.
That happened to me last night.
Isn't that so bad?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I hope that doesn't happen tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're a little too close to the bird, it can land on you and push you through the nest. It's horrible. And now we're headed to Autumn. Autumn is probably the most no-nonsense level. It's mostly just running around collecting things. There isn't a whole lot of extra happening here. You do have to feed Eerie again, this time 10 worms.
This is the longest season in this level, though.
It is. And it also lags the most.
Yes, it's very laggy.
Due to the falling leaves and the larger size of both bear snares, which are these Venus flytrap looking dudes that Nylume just jumped onto, and due to the large birds on the tree. So we're going to visit Mumbo, but Mumbo's busy sweeping. He can't actually help us right now. Too busy taking care of his own house. And those platforms in Mumbo's hut can be really finicky. You can get up there in Talon Trot, but
it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's a very specific little thing. And no MVP, she does not pick up the big key in Freeze Easy Peak. The ice key is not part of the 100% requirement. And we are collecting some more gold feathers here. She uses those to get the notes on top of the bear snares. Since bear snares are dangerous, we need gold feathers to iframe through them to grab those notes. And we're actually going to go visit Naughty, like Nylume. Go say hi. Naughty is happy to see us, but we're only here for his stuff. So
this is our reward for helping him get back into his house.
You can also grab that Jiggy in winter, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah, you can. Doing that will save you a dance.
It will. Snare bears, bear snares, it's all the same. They tried to eat you. You know, bears are tasty, nutritious snacks. So we're gonna bother Gobi one more time. Sometimes Gobi's hitbox is weird, like right there, Nylume clearly landed on the hump of the camel, but it didn't really work because those hitboxes are odd, just like the baby turtle hitboxes in Bubble Bloop Swamp can be finicky. We are actually going to glitch out of fall, so how did the devs release with this much lag? Oh, wait till you see Tui.
Tui is like this, but every level is like
Tui
this.
is the laggiest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so I'm gonna take care of that grub in Hood because he's a little dangerous. Going back up. And we are just gonna grab a couple things from our Zubba hives. It's weird, since we have this nice collectathon going, you can expect to see the same areas multiple times. It's interesting that they hid some things like that. It's just, I don't know. They want to make sure you explore every nook and cranny and see all of their
Yeah.
hard work. And I kind of appreciate that.
Mhm.
Nylume's just gonna walk past this dragonfly because she's not scared. He can be a troll. He can actually knock you off, but if you walk past him, there usually isn't any issue. Like you can just, if you jump over to that platform and just walk, like don't jump, he usually doesn't hit you. Chat wants to know if you feel bad about hurting Gobi.
I do, a little
Yeah.
bit.
It makes me
I
feel
mean-
guilty too, but you know.
He's just so, he has like those long puppy ears and
Yeah, he's cute. He's
yeah.
endearing. He's very helpful, but I mean, we should ask him before just bashing him. Yup, Click Clock Wood is notoriously, I guess, the most anxiety-inducing in the game, mostly because it is thin platforms high up in the air.
Mhm. That was another example of some lag reduction, because I made the camera so the window frame was covering Banjo, so it made him give Nabnut the acorns a little faster. Oh dear. This is one of the more dangerous parts of the level.
Yeah, these birds are bothersome. You can glitch, or you can, I guess, slope glitch across that platform, but it's even more stressful than just killing them.
Yeah. I did
There's
that for a while and I was like, this is way too scary. I'm just gonna not.
the fun thing about this run is it's
Yeah. You
so
can make it
accessible.
right, you can make it as like difficult as you want.
As difficult or as easy as you'd like, yep.
It's very beginner friendly.
That's a lot of
Oh my god, I didn't get pushed through, yay!
Was it this one that pushed you?
Yes. Oh, wait. Okay, I already hit that. I just want to make sure. That would have been bad to forget that.
Yeah, she would have to go all the way back through. But we're
Now
just gonna collect the Jiggy here.
We're gonna clip out a fall with Fall Clip.
Aptly named. And she's just gonna set herself up here and just fall through the ground because, you know, walls and floors. Walls and floors are suggestions. But yeah, Fall Clip and Spring Clip, which is similar in a different route, are pretty finicky. So you want to set yourself up and push yourself forward just enough that you end up in a little cranny of this and fall through.
Having a little trouble here. I think this is a good angle.
No worries. There are a number of sections in this game where you can clip out of levels or into levels.
I'm just not gonna do it.
That's fine. It's really finicky, don't worry about it. And she's already very close to the exit, so it's all good. And then we're gonna head over to Winter. And Winter is the shortest, but it's got a lot of difficult sections. And one of those, or two of those, are clips in flight. So we're gonna see a bulk of the glitches over here in Winter of Click Clock Wood. First, you're gonna fly a lot in this level. There's snowmen, like the ones in Freeze Easy Peak, everywhere. They're a massive pain, but she is gonna do a great job of just acting like they're not even there. The snowmen sort of lock onto where you're going to be. And that was a really nice landing on the roof.
Hey.
If your shadow's on that roof for too long.
Oops.
That's fine. If your shadow's on that roof for too long, you can't land on it. You slide right off. But she's just gonna go back and hit the switch. And then we're going to
trolled a little.
Yeah,
oh.
he's very rude. But the good news is you have these honey hive boxes and they don't have bees because it's winter. So they don't chase you. That's a fun little thing in this game that a lot of people weren't aware of. Is that you have those honey hives, but they don't have any bees in the winter. And now we're gonna fly up and collect some jiggies throughout. There's a lot of jiggies like inside the tree in sections you probably didn't know they were there in other seasons. There's no reason to go to these areas. And this Jiggy's one of them. Just hanging out in a room full of whip cracks. You know, you'd never really think about it unless you knew it was there. Rare really put a focus on exploration throughout these games. And she's gonna go around and collect some notes off thin platforms. There's a snowman here who likes to bother you a little bit, but usually if you're moving fast enough like Nylume is here, he can't really hit you. He's too slow. Blue
There's
ginger.
Eerie.
And there's our beautiful child, all grown up. So proud. Eerie, Kazooie teaches Eerie to fly here. And we get some more classic Rareware humor. And Eerie gives us a little present in Eerie's own special way. And she just grabbed that Jiggy in flight. That's a lot harder than she made it look, actually. Both of those Jiggies she just grabbed in flight. We are gonna pop open this door. This is finicky. This is very finicky.
Yeah. I think the intended way to get in there is
to beak bomb and fly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, we're just gonna go in and out.
And oh, I had enough. Wanted to grab that just in case.
Because if you don't have 25 tokens from Mumbo, you can't turn into the bee, and then you're scrambling. This Grubbin Hood can be a pain, as can this snowman.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't nice.
And this snowman does this nonsense pretty much all the time. She's gonna clip into the tree like a boss to grab this honeycomb, and then she's gonna try to clip out of the tree. Very finicky clip.
Nice. That wasn't too bad.
You nailed it. And that is winter clips. And she falls through the void and clips out. And now we're gonna go to spring one last time so we can turn into the bee and get those last couple jiggies. You might also notice that we are missing some Jinjos. Both of these Jinjos are in spring. One of them you need the bee to collect. Those winter clips are beautiful. our last time seeing Mumbo within the context of the game.
Will we get a washing machine? Nope.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh. That's okay. But the bee is very cute. We don't get to see the bee for very long. And controlling this bee is really hard. So the fact that she grabbed that green Jinjo and got into the hive that fast is impressive. If you don't remember, just go ahead and grab your BK cart and try to fly with the bee. It's not easy. It's really impressive with the RBA route, what you can do with him. But yep, she is out of the level just like that. And we are going to use the bee one last time to grab the layer Jiggy and the final layer Jiggy from up here. And then it's time for some shenanigans. Gruntilda has a board game that she really wants us to play. And Nylume doesn't want to play that board game. And a little trick called Nimphawk Skip makes it so Nylume does not have to play that board game.
It's a very convenient trick.
It is.
I like it a lot.
It's relatively new as well in the scheme of the game. For a long time, we had other Furnace Fun skips. We utilized a Death Square to fly out and get full control of Banjo and Kazooie. But now we don't even have to worry about that. She's just going to head over to the left, grab a Joker space so she can prepare the trick.
Hope I don't get a picture question.
Hope you don't get a picture question. This is a little bit of RNG.
There's about a 20% chance getting a picture question makes the trick not work. So I'll have to try again. And I missed the Joker question because it was a grunty question.
So she's just gonna... What she's doing is there's a small seam between the squares where she's gonna try to get into Talon Thought. It's a couple frames. It might be one frame.
I think it's like 1 pixel.
Yeah, it's tiny. But she's gonna try to slide lightly so she can get into that and start that question in Talon Shot, and she just nailed it. She has to answer this question incorrectly, and we didn't get a picture question. So now
Yay.
She gains full control of Banjo and Kazooie on the board and is able to simply walk across.
Furnace Fun Skip lets you also... there's fate credits that play at the end of Furnace Fun if you complete it normally. Mm-hmm. And so the skip saves a lot of time because we don't have to watch that.
Fate credits used to be watched in the run, funnily enough. But we are headed to the final boss, ladies and gentlemen and friends. There is a lot for her to focus on here. It's a tricky boss fight, but once you do it a lot, you start to sort of figure out what the best process for getting through it is.
I opened the wrong door. Oops.
That's okay.
I'm used to not getting feathers now, so I forgot which door the feathers were in. But for the marathon, I'm gonna go ahead and grab them, just to be safe. And then I also need eggs.
Yep. You use a lot of eggs and not very many feathers in this fight, but if you don't have the flying section down, you're gonna want the extra feathers, especially if you're running low. Dingpot's gonna shoot her up, and we are going to fight Gruntilda. She's not very nice. She stole our sister because she wanted to be beautiful. Obviously, we try not to game over in the speedruns, so we don't really see what is oft known as sexy grunty, which you see in the game over credits. So we just get to see this grunty. We know her true form. And basically, there's a way to go about this. Every phase has a different sort of strategy. What Nylume's doing is she's trying to get to every platform before Grunty makes it in this first phase and shoot eggs so that Grunty takes damage and she's able to advance to the next phase. The next phase of the fight will be flying. In my opinion, the most difficult phase, but once you know what to do, you'll see her ground pounding a lot too when Grunty shoots those green spells. And missing that first big bomb is okay. We grab extra feathers during marathons so that things don't trouble us. But the Grunty fight is notoriously troublesome.
Yeah, if you miss one of the beak bombs, it's really hard to kind of get back on track. So, missing one just kind of increases your chances of missing another. There's another.
And Grunty takes quite a lot of hits throughout the phases. You actually do stop hitting her after the flying phase for a bit because you have Jinjo's hit set. And Nylume's gonna go for a little skip here. She's gonna shoot eggs where the statue is gonna spawn. I'm really confused as to why those didn't work.
Yeah.
Those looked so good! But yeah, basically ways to speed up this section. If you jump, the Jinjo is more likely to hit Grunty. You want to get to each statue as quickly as possible, try to avoid getting hit. It's a hard fight, so...
Oh, I thought those went in.
The speedrunning is... Yeah, it is. For a second, I thought you soft-locked, and I was very sad. I was like, no, not today.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been really sad. But we're on to the last phase of the fight. This is called Ginginator. This is also going to be Banjo's final smash, which is going to be super cool. I'm really excited. Nylume's going to shoot eggs into the statue that spawns in the middle of the stage. And the statue, once it gets eggs on all four sides, is going to destroy Grunty. And as soon as the statue turns blue, that is going to be time. So once she gets the last egg, it's 4 on each side. But once she gets the last egg, bam. Fight.
Time. So yeah, that's Banjo-Kazooie 100%.
Woo! 222, that's really good. That's pretty close to your PB.
Thanks, yeah. It's not bad for a marathon or no reset run at all.
Despite some memes going on, I think you did amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
So GG to Nylume, and Grunty is gonna get knocked down now. But don't think that she's done for just yet. She looks pretty done for. I would argue that, you know, this would have probably taken her out, but Tui tells us
We will
otherwise.
see her again soon.
We'll see her soon. Oh no.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in learning about Banjo speedrunning, definitely check out the bkspeedrun.com page. There's a lot of resources there.
It's a very helpful community, as we mentioned. There are tons of resources, tons of people who are willing to answer questions and help. It's a great group of people.
Okay.
Alright, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you guys.
Bye!
Bye.